A document has surfaced that changes everything we thought we knew about Carlo Acutis's final days. Hidden in his personal journals, discovered by his mother 3 months ago while organizing materials for the Vatican archives, was an entry dated October 10, 2006, just 2 days before Carlo's death. In this entry, written in his own handwriting when he was too weak to hold a pen steadily, Carlo documented a private conversation he had with the Virgin Mary. What she promised him, what she told him about his future mission, and what she revealed about why he had to die so young has profound implications for everyone praying to him today. The journal entry has been authenticated by handwriting experts, verified by Carlo's mother Antonia, and is currently being examined by Vatican theologians. What Mary told Carlo in his hospital room explains why his intercession has been so powerful since his canonization, why he appears so frequently to young people, and what role he's meant to play in the Church's future. This isn't speculation or pious interpretation. These are Carlo's own words, written when he knew death was imminent, documenting a mystical encounter that he believed was the culmination of his entire life. Subscribe immediately and turn on notifications, because this revelation is being released in stages by the Vatican and will bring you each new detail as it's made public. The full journal entry is being prepared for official publication, but what's already been shared is reshaping how we understand Carlo's mission and his relationship with Mary. The discovery happened in July 2025, when Antonia Acutis was sorting through boxes of Carlo's belongings that had been stored since his death in 2006. The Vatican had requested additional materials for their archives, photos, writings, anything that might provide insight into Carlo's spiritual life. Antonia was going through a box labeled Carlo's personal items when she found a small notebook she'd never seen before. Drop a comment below if you've ever discovered something precious that had been hidden or forgotten for years. Antonia's discovery of this journal feels providential, released at exactly the moment when Carlo's intercession is becoming more visible and widespread. The notebook was a simple spiral-bound journal that Carlo had apparently kept during his final hospitalization in October 2006. Most entries were brief: prayers, scripture verses, reflections on suffering. But the October 10th entry was different. It covered 3 full pages, written in handwriting that showed physical weakness but spiritual intensity. Carlo wrote this entry with obvious effort, the letters sometimes shaky, but the content clear and detailed. Antonia read the entry and immediately called Father Marcello, the priest who had been Carlo's spiritual director during his final months. Father Marcello read it and said, "This needs to go to the Vatican immediately. This is significant." Within days, the journal was in Rome being examined by experts. The Vatican's initial authentication confirmed several key facts. The handwriting matched Carlo's verified samples. The ink dated to 2006. The paper composition matched other notebooks Carlo used during that period. The content aligned with Carlo's documented spiritual life and theological understanding. Most significantly, Antonia confirmed that Carlo had been alone in his room for approximately 2 hours on the afternoon of October 10, 2006, the same time period when this entry was written. Here's what Carlo wrote, translated from Italian. Vatican officials have authorized the release of key portions while the full text undergoes theological review. October 10, 2006. I am writing this because I need to remember what just happened, and because maybe someday someone will need to know what she told me. I was lying in bed, feeling the sickness pulling me down. I've accepted that I'm dying. I'm ready. I've offered everything to Jesus for the Pope and for young people who don't know him. But today, something happened that I didn't expect. If this is already giving you chills, share this video right now. Carlo's own words about his encounter with Mary need to reach every Catholic who prays to him. Carlo continued. Mama had gone to get some air. The nurses were busy with other patients. I was alone, or I thought I was alone. Then I felt her presence before I saw her. The room got warmer and brighter even though nothing changed physically, and then she was there, standing beside my bed. Mary, the mother of Jesus, the one I've prayed to every day of my life. She was more beautiful than I can describe. Not beautiful like models on billboards. Beautiful like when you see something so perfect, it makes you want to cry. Her eyes were full of love, the kind of love that sees everything about you, all the ugly parts and broken parts, and loves you anyway. She smiled at me, and I felt peace I've never felt before, even deeper than what I feel during Eucharistic adoration. I tried to sit up, but she put her hand on my shoulder so gently and said, "Rest, Carlo, you've done well. Jesus is pleased with you." I started crying. I couldn't help it. I told her I was sorry I didn't do more, that my life was so short, that I wanted more time to serve Jesus. She shook her head and said something I'll never forget. "Carlo, your 15 years have accomplished more than many people accomplish in 80 years. You loved my son in the Eucharist with your whole heart. You showed young people that holiness is possible in their world, in their time, with their technology and their struggles. Your life wasn't short. It was exactly the length it needed to be." Comment below if you're crying reading Mary's words to Carlo. The tenderness of this encounter and the validation she gave him is almost too beautiful to bear. Carlo wrote, "Then she told me why I had to die young. She said, 'Young people don't listen to old saints anymore. They need someone who understands their world, someone who lived with computers and phones and the internet, someone who faced the same temptations they face and chose Jesus anyway. Your death at 15 will make you eternally 15 in their minds. You'll always be one of them. That's your power. You speak their language, you lived their life, you know their struggles.'" I asked her what would happen after I died. She smiled again and said, "You're going to be busy, Carlo. Your work on earth is almost finished, but your work from heaven is just beginning. You're going to intercede for so many people. You're going to appear to young people who are losing faith. You're going to work miracles that will remind the world that Jesus is truly present in the Eucharist. You're going to be my helper, bringing souls to my son." She told me 3 specific things about my mission after death. I'm writing them down exactly as she said them. First, you will appear frequently to young people, especially teenagers who are in crisis. When they're considering suicide, when they're trapped in addiction, when they're walking away from my son, you'll be sent to them. They'll see you, hear you, and remember that someone their age chose Jesus and found joy. Your appearances will save many lives. Second, you will work miracles that prove the Eucharist is really Jesus. Healings will happen when people pray to you and then receive communion. Impossible situations will resolve when people combine devotion to you with adoration of the Blessed Sacrament. Your miracles will always point to my son in the Eucharist, never to yourself. Third, you will help prepare the Church for difficult times ahead. The world is going to become more hostile to faith. Technology will be used against truth. Young people will be targeted with lies and confusion. But you'll be there, showing them that faith and modernity can coexist, that holiness is possible even in a digital age. You're going to be a warrior for truth in the coming battles. Share this video with every young person you know. Mary's promise to Carlo reveals that his mission is specifically for them, that he was prepared and positioned by heaven to be their intercessor and guide. Carlo's journal entry continued. I asked her how long until people would know about me. She said, "Not long. Within 20 years, you'll be recognized as a saint by the Church. Within 50 years, you'll be one of the most invoked saints in the world, especially among the young. Your name will be spoken in every country. Your image will be shared across the technology you loved so much. Your story will give hope to millions." I could barely believe what she was saying. Me? A saint that millions pray to? I'm just a regular kid who loves Jesus. She must have seen my doubt because she touched my hand and said, "Carlo, you're not just anything. You're exactly what my son made you to be. Accept this mission with joy. Trust that everything in your life, your gifts, your interests, your suffering, even your death, has been preparation for what comes after." Then she told me something that gave me courage to face death. She said, "You're not going to suffer much longer. In 2 days you'll close your eyes on earth and open them in heaven. Your mother will be with you, your father will be near. You'll fall asleep peacefully, and you'll wake in my son's arms. And then, Carlo, your real adventure begins." I asked if I could tell my parents about this visit. She said, "Tell them if you wish, but they may not understand until later. Someday, when your mission is visible and your intercession is known worldwide, this conversation will be revealed. It will encourage people who pray to you and wonder if you really hear them. It will validate your appearances to those who see you. It will explain why your intercession is so powerful. Before she left, she made me a personal promise. She said, "Carlo, I will be present at every Eucharistic celebration where someone prays to you for help. When people combine devotion to you with devotion to my Son in the Eucharist, I will be there interceding alongside you. Your love for the Eucharist during life has created a permanent connection between your intercession and Eucharistic graces. Those who honor you will find their love for the Eucharist deepening." She blessed me, made the sign of the cross over me, and then she was gone. The room returned to its normal temperature and light, but I felt different. I'm not afraid anymore. I'm not sad about dying. I'm excited, actually. If what she told me is true, my life is just beginning. Death isn't an ending, it's a doorway into the mission I was born for. Subscribe and turn on notifications, because Vatican officials are releasing additional portions of Carlo's journal entries over the coming weeks, including other mystical experiences he documented but never discussed publicly during his life. The final portion of the October 10th entry that has been released so far reads, "I don't know if anyone will ever read this. Maybe Mama will find it someday. Maybe the Vatican will study it. Maybe it will just stay hidden. But I wanted to write it down while it's fresh in my memory. Our Lady came to me. She told me about my future. She promised I'd be helping people from heaven. She said my death at 15 was part of God's plan, not a tragedy or a waste. If you're reading this and you're young and you're struggling, know that I'm praying for you. If you're reading this and you've prayed to me, know that I hear you. If you're reading this and you wonder if saints are real and heaven is real and God cares about your life, it's all true. I'm dying, but I'm not ending. I'm transitioning from Carlo the sick teenager to Carlo the saint who intercedes for you. Keep loving Jesus in the Eucharist. Go to Mass. Go to adoration. That's where you'll find him. That's where everything makes sense. That's the highway to heaven. Our Lady said my mission would always point to the Eucharist. So I'm telling you now, if you want my help, if you need my intercession, combine your prayers to me with time before Jesus in the tabernacle. That's where the miracles happen. That's where heaven meets earth. I have 2 more days on earth. Mama doesn't know yet. I'm not going to tell her. It would make her too sad. But I know, Our Lady told me. October 12th. That's when I go home. I'm ready. I'm grateful. I'm excited for the mission ahead. Pray for me as I pray for you. We're all in this together, the Church on earth and the Church in heaven. See you on the other side. Carlo. The journal entry ends there. Carlo died on October 12, 2006, exactly as Mary had told him, peacefully, with his mother present, falling asleep and waking in heaven. His final words, documented by those present, were a whispered, "Hail Mary." Antonia Acutis has given testimony about Carlo's demeanor during his final 2 days. He was at peace in a way I couldn't understand. Most dying people are fearful or fighting. Carlo was serene, almost joyful. He kept looking at me with such love and saying, "It's okay, Mama. Everything is okay." Now that I've read his journal, I understand. He knew what was coming. Mary had told him. He was ready. Vatican theologians examining the journal entry have focused on several key elements. First, the content aligns perfectly with what we've observed about Carlo's intercession since his canonization: frequent appearances to young people, miracles connected to the Eucharist, his role as bridge between faith and technology. Mary's promises to Carlo have manifested exactly as she described. Second, the theological content is sound. Mary's statements about Carlo's mission are consistent with Catholic teaching about saintly intercession and the communion of saints. There's nothing heretical or questionable in what Carlo reported her saying. Third, the humility of the account is characteristic of genuine mystical experiences. Carlo doesn't claim any personal merit. He expresses surprise at Mary's words. He deflects glory to Jesus. He emphasizes the Eucharist over himself. These are marks of authentic supernatural encounter. Father Marcello, Carlo's former spiritual director, testified, "Carlo never mentioned this visit during his final days, but I'm not surprised he experienced it. His spiritual maturity was extraordinary. His love for Mary was deep and constant. That she would come to him at the end makes perfect sense, and what she told him has proven prophetically accurate." The revelation of Mary's promise to Carlo is reshaping how Catholics understand his intercession. People who've prayed to Carlo and received help now understand that Mary is interceding alongside him. Those who've seen Carlo appear realize they were witnessing the fulfillment of a specific mission given by the Virgin Mary. Young people struggling with faith can know that Carlo's attention to their generation was promised by heaven itself. The timing of this journal's discovery, just months before the October 19th canonization of 7 new saints, seems providential. Mary's promise to Carlo about his mission helps contextualize the current surge in saint-making under Pope Leo XIV. The Church needs more intercessors for modern problems. Carlo's role is specific and crucial, bridging the gap between traditional faith and digital culture. Prayer groups dedicated to Carlo have incorporated this revelation into their devotions. They now specifically ask Mary to intercede alongside Carlo, acknowledging her promise to be present when people combine devotion to her Son in the Eucharist with prayers to Carlo. Several people who've experienced Carlo's intercession have reported that after learning about Mary's promise, they've had dreams or experiences where they encountered both Carlo and Mary together. One woman wrote, "I prayed to Carlo for healing. The night before my surgery, I dreamed of a teenage boy and a woman standing beside my bed. I didn't see faces clearly, but I felt overwhelming love and peace. My surgery went perfectly, with complications doctors expected not occurring." After reading about Mary's promise to Carlo, I realized who was in that dream. The full journal is being prepared for publication, with scholarly annotations and theological commentary. Vatican officials expect to release it within 6 months. The document will include all of Carlo's October 2006 entries, providing complete context for his final days and his mystical experiences during that time. What we already know from the October 10th entry changes everything. Carlo didn't just happen to become a powerful intercessor. Mary specifically promised him this mission. His frequent appearances aren't random, they're fulfillment of her prediction. His miracles connected to the Eucharist follow the pattern she described. His role preparing young people for spiritual battles ahead was assigned by the Mother of God herself. For those who've prayed to Carlo and wondered if he truly hears, Mary's promise provides assurance. She told him he'd be busy interceding for many people. She told him he'd work miracles. She told him he'd appear to those in crisis. Every time someone experiences his help, they're witnessing the fulfillment of what Mary promised in that hospital room in 2006. St. Carlo Acutis, blessed by Mary with a mission that continues to unfold, thank you for accepting the role she gave you. Thank you for interceding faithfully for all who call on you. Thank you for appearing to young people in crisis, for working miracles that point to the Eucharist, for preparing the Church for challenges ahead. We thank Mary for choosing you, preparing you, and sending you on this mission. We ask her to continue interceding alongside you as she promised. Help us love Jesus in the Eucharist as you did. Help us accept our own crosses as preparation for missions we can't yet see. Help us trust that no life is wasted, no death is meaningless, and heaven has plans bigger than we can imagine. Fulfill in us what Mary promised in you. Bring us closer to her Son, strengthen our faith for battles ahead, and show us that holiness is possible in our modern world. Amen.